G'day everyone, I'm Romz. This is my playthrough of Reus, or Reus, not sure how to pronounce it. Just coming out on Steam, and it's a pretty fantastic game. I'm just going to jump straight into it. It's played about 4 hours of it. I've unlocked a few things, and yeah, still learning the game, but join me as I learn along with you. Anyway, this is the first set of options. Not really options, but more like achievements or developments and things that you can aim for in the particular session that you're playing. I've got 67 here, as you can see, that need to be unlocked. I've done 13 so far, so I've only scratched the surface. Yeah, that one should be pretty easy. That one should be pretty good, and that one should be pretty good too. We'll start the game based off that. So first thing we want to do is have a look at what we got. You've got 4 giants or gods or whatever you want to consider them as. And they all have different features that sort of change the landscape in certain ways, such as this crab man, crab god, kraken, who cares. He makes oceans. So we'll create an ocean right there before anyone even starts. So while he does that, we're going to get the other gods in position. They can dance around while he digs an ocean for us. And the game is basically a city building game, or a settlement building game. And, what's to it? It's all about sort of how you place certain resources and things like your landscapes, such as the forest here on wet land, as we'll call it. Oh shit, no, I didn't want to do that, but that's okay. And he can come over here. Now, the forest dude over there, he created a forest. Funny that. And this goo dude is going to create a swamp on this side of the ocean. And he can run back to this ocean here once he's done. Giant, not doing too much, just chilling out. So, first order of business for the crab dude. By the way, you spend a lot of this game paused. It's a 60-minute game. I've done 20 seconds so far, as you can probably see up there. And yeah, you spend a lot of it paused. Like I said, I've played 4 hours of it, but that was a half-an-hour game plus a tutorial, which I smashed through. So, lots to consider. So, first order of business, you want to sort of get in a good rotation of activation of these 4 dudes. And I like to sort of just do them 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, you can sort of control them with hotkeys 1, 2, and 3, 4. So first things first, I'm going to quickly create some fish, which is create an animal or domesticated animal. And if you do it in the ocean, it creates a fish, a fish thing, school of fish. And that's good because they actually go out on the land. I'll explain later. I've got to stop right clicking. So he's fishing. Rastafarian tree dude is going to place some resources on this newly developed land. Actually, let it develop a bit. Newly developed land about 1, 2, 3 spaces away from the edge. And I'll explain later, and that'll come to, yeah, that'll make a lot more sense later. So he didn't make the swamp. I'm just going to make sure he's doing that. Rock dude, haven't got a good job for the rock dude at the moment. He actually, I might get him to trundle all the way over here and create a desert town or a desert landscape while the getting's good. So he's going to go over there. I'll actually queue the command up. He'll raise up a mountain that lets us create desert villages. Forest village creates, well, forest villages, swamp villages, and you've also got desert villages and mountain villages. So it's 4 different biosphere-scapes things, and yeah, whatever. So let these dudes roll. As you can see, let's watch this happen here. He put the fish down, the mackerel, by using his cooldown effect here, and that's put 2 food in the surrounding landscape. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Rastafarian dude has planted trees right here. Very, very handy. Blueberries, I should say, not trees, but fruit. Good stuff. So I'll get him to trundle over here. His next order of business is going to be, I don't want to, you can upgrade the plants with this here, but growth aspect, actually, less a leaf, less a fruit. I don't want to use that on that because it stunts its growth. I'll get around to aspects later. So while he does that, while he sort of chills out a bit, I'll get him to spray him so he walks faster. I should have got him actually to spray Rock Dude because he's going a further distance. And don't worry, that spell can reach him from over there, which is all good. And he trembles faster. He's just created the Swampscape, so first order business for this bugger is going to be they're poison frogs, I think. So I'll put down exotic animals in the swamp, just like the domesticated animals, except this is going to be a little bit different. And I'll again 1, 2, 3 spaces away from the edge. That all makes sense in a couple of minutes. Forest village has settled. This is where it's going to make sense. So forest villages often need food, and you get food with plants and domesticated animals. I'm remembering that he's got domesticated animals. So this is what this is here. As you can see, I'll pause it. This is the village. It starts out with a very small sphere of influence, so it takes up these 3 squares here, plus this 2 surrounding border town things here. So at the moment, it's getting 7 food from my fish affected square here, and my blueberries here. So 7 food. It's not much, but we'll work on getting it a lot more fleshed out in a moment. So I might get him to come over here. Yes, I'll get him to come over here. I'm still waiting for his cooldown for the animals so I can plonk some chickens there, and chickens will help us momentarily. Not momentarily, they'll help us in the long run. But yeah. He's over here, so I might get him to... Oh, not the frogs. Get him to go there. Now, the reason I did that ability right there is because that raises the fertility of this patch. And progressively raises the chances of getting a better aspect up to potent. I did that, I'm not really cast an aspect at the moment. I haven't actually got cooldown to put fruit tree down. But fruit plant. But it's just a way to sort of upgrade the space so that when you upgrade it, it works out a bit better. So, okay, so the granary challenge has started. The village that just settled is now starting a project, and this is what the game, or at least the village aspect of the game, is all about. You've got the granary here, and this is a project, or like a building that the town is contributing towards. And for it to be built, we need 30 food in use. We only have 22, and 3 of those 22 in use. But we can increase this with the actual specialization of the granary, which is 15 food for each plant within borders, stacks up to 3 times. So that changes the game a bit. That makes me think, instead of having animals here and plants there, I should have plants. That I'll only get that will give me tech if I put these particular dandelions down. If I put this herb ability down here, I'll make a dandelion as such. And if I do that, that'll give me more food, 15 more food for every patch of land that I have plants in. But if I have food plants here, I'm just going to create a bunch of food and not much else. I mean, there's food, tech, and one other thing at the moment which escapes me. Wealth, and those 3 things all contribute to the success of your town. So there's no point in having 50 to 100 food if you haven't got tech and the tech and the wealth. I don't know why I keep forgetting wealth, Jesus. But if you don't have all 3 of them at a good balance, or at least enough to sort of contribute to your project, eventually when you get to the later stages of projects, like the bigger ones, they'll have multiple wealth, tech, and food needs, and if you've just got food, it's going to be no good. So without further ado, dandelions, right there. I'm going to have to get him to sit there and put dandelions there as well. And then more dandelions here. It's going to be a dandy village. So as you can see, planted dandelions, 13 tech, which is amazing because it's actually, I should explain this actually a bit more properly. Every fruit, mine, or animal that you put down, or any resource you put down, has a symbiosis right up here in the right corner, which if you fulfill that symbiosis, you actually get more benefit. Just like this granary here, where if I put more plants in my sphere of influence, I get, for every plant I have, I get 15 food. So dandelion's giving me 15 more food. And it's just a way for these specializations in symbiosis to really pump up all the different food, wealth, and tech aspects of the resource to get maximum benefit. So, dandelions get 8 tech and 4 nature if it's next to a plant. So, we're getting that right here, right now. Enough talking. Like I said, there's a lot of pause. I'm still only a minute and 2 minutes and 6 seconds in, or 1 minute 6 seconds in, and it's not much is happening. So 1, 2, 3, 4. First dude is going to plant more fish. Now the mackerel with the symbiosis is 1+ animal range for every other mackerel within range stacks up to 3 times. So this will actually allow us to creep over further onto the land with these two dudes. He's got to wait there to plant more dandelions. Rustamon is... It looks like a Rasta, maybe. He's going to plant some trees next to these poison dart frogs. And they give us +1 wealth, +2 wealth, sorry, and 1 animal range if next to an elderberry. So I'll plant this fruit plant here. Elderberries will appear. That just tells us that a new nomad is roaming the planet. So they're probably going to end up on my swamp district here. Oh, I don't know what he's going to do now. But nomad. We'll have a fun time with that. So what I want to do, I've raised that patch of mountainscape there. So what I want to do is actually raise up another one next to it so we can create more of a mountain biome. And we do this because we've got desert this side, but we only really want one massive desert town and one massive mountain town, one massive fruit town, forest town, and one massive swamp town. And with whatever space we have left, we can specialise in other additional playfields. So, he's created that. He's still cooling down. Rustamon has planted his elderberries. Now, if I use lesser lift aspect on this patch of land, keeping in mind that I actually upgraded it earlier, if I use this here, I can transmute it. Keeping in mind, I need to keep it. I don't want to transmute it just yet because the elderberries are giving these frogs a bigger benefit. So, if I put that there, give it the aspect, because I don't want to upgrade it to pineapples. We want to keep it at this, but still. So what it's done, aspects are like upgrades. So you use it to actually upgrade or transmute the resource into another resource, but they also give a passive bonus, like a buff or an upgrade. And they only have one, or this one only has a max slot of 1. If I had upgraded to tomatoes or the pineapples, they might have had 2 slots or even 3 slots. But there's different. Okay, but the timing is only 1. Now, if you remember, I fertilized that patch of land right there, and it upgraded the patch of land so that when I put an aspect on it, it's a potent one instead of just a lesser one. You remember, like your Diablo terms, potent is better than lesser. Full stop. Now it's giving it +4 tech, +2 nature, and you can't go wrong with that. So with that, I might just stop this part 1 and then go on to part 2. Thanks for watching, and we'll go into some more city building fun in the next video. Cheers!